What are your thoughts on immortality, or at least living a very, very long time, as pursued by researchers like Aubrey de Grey? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's desirable? Aubrey, if you're not familiar with Aubrey de Grey, you should watch some of his talks. I think he's given 2 TED Talks. He has some very good arguments against people's ethical intuitions here. Many people seem to think that if we could cure aging and death and become immortal or live thousands of years, that there's something unethical about that project, that it's either so unnatural as to be unethical, or it represents some kind of selfishness that we should be suspicious of. I think Aubrey's rejoinder to those intuitions is compelling. As to whether it's possible, I think it probably is in principle possible. I think Aubrey describes aging as an engineering problem. There are not that many ways in the end to grow old and die. I think he points to 7 different ways in which our bodies begin to break down. Cancer is one of those ways. The depositing of junk inside of cells or between cells is another way. There are just not that many ways that an old person on the verge of death differs from a person in the prime of his or her life. So I agree that if we understood those ways completely and we could intervene biochemically and make the necessary changes, well, then we may find that aging is now no longer a problem. We can keep repairing ourselves. And I think that would be a good thing. I think, as Aubrey argues, aging is the worst thing there is. And the only reason why anyone's tempted to accept it is because it appears currently unavoidable. But if you think Alzheimer's should be cured and you think cancer should be cured, well, then aging is the super problem you should want solved. Because each of these evils, along with many others, are mere symptoms of aging. Yeah, I agree with Aubrey. I think if there's any way in which I'm skeptical of his discussion of this topic, it may be just a basic uncertainty about whether he's too optimistic about the timeline here. But I think it's an incredibly interesting area to work in, and I think the taboos around declaring one's intent to cure aging are fascinating, both ethically and culturally. And I think Aubrey has said some very useful things in that area. Next question.